Hello again, everybody, with Steve Stone and Harry Carey back at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, where the Cubs will try to even up the series, reducing their magic number from the present 2 to what we hope will be 1, and maybe they'll clinch it tonight.
Dennis Martinez going to the mound for Montreal. He's given up 9 home runs in his last 60 innings of work. He's 2-1 against the Cubs this year, and Greg Maddux looking for victory number 19, which would be his career high. He's 2-1 against the Expos.
Let's say something about the Expos manager, Buck Rogers. It was announced today he will be back to fulfill the 3rd year of his contract in 1990.
He had a meeting with Dave Dombrowski, and they found out they were working on the same wavelength, and Buck Rogers has done a great job here. It's been a disappointing second half, but Harry, this is a quality manager and a quality man.
I'm happy to hear it because he's a nice man. All right, we'll be back with the lineups now in a moment.
Last quarter sales.
I'm flying out next week.
Good. Who's covering the A
By
market?
the way, I've changed my flight to 7 and...
Good. Get those startup cities.
I'm on the 8 o'clock United.
Whenever Chicago leaves town on business, one airline is chosen over all the rest. Because one airline flies to more cities more often and back to home base.
Pop, there's one more thing. Who's gonna fix that leaky faucet?
Rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. United.
Sold faucets all over the country. Ought to be able to fix this one.
Come fly the friendly skies.
Subscribe now for daily home delivery of the Chicago Tribune, and you'll get Sundays free. Just call 1-800-221-1200 for 26 weeks of daily home delivery at just $2.10 a week. 26 weeks of the Chicago Tribune with Sundays free. That sounds like good news to me.
Hello again, everybody, with Steve Stone and Dwayne Stats, Harry Carey back in Montreal as we're ready to go with the second game of the series. The Cardinals at Pittsburgh are tied up 1-1 in the second inning. A Cardinal loss and a Cubs victory, that's all over. And the Cubs are, for the second time in the 1980s, the division champion. Here are the lineups for the Cubs. Wynn in center, Sandberg at second, Smith in left, Grace at first, Dawson in right, Salazar at third, Dunston the shortstop, Rick Rona catching, and Greg Maddux is the pitcher, shooting for his 19th win of the year. There's Buck Rogers. Just been announced he'll be back next year as the Montreal manager. Their lineup, Raines in left, Grissom in center, Galarraga at first, Brooks in right, Wallach at third, Foley at second, Santovenia the catcher, Owen the shortstop, and Dennis Martinez, who has won 16 while losing 6, will be the pitcher. The umpire, there you see Dutch runner behind the plate, Ishram Oshkosh by gosh, Paul Runge at first, Fred Brocklander at second, and Bob Engel at third. We're ready to go. The magic number is a mere 2. What will it be after this night is over? I know what we all hope it'll be. There's the Expos defense.
Dennis Martinez going to the mound, and Dennis has won 16 games a couple of other times, back in 1978 when he was with Baltimore, and again at Baltimore in 1982. So he's going for his lifetime high, his 17th win tonight. He's been giving up the long ball lately, and that's uncharacteristic for Martinez, who throws a good curveball. He's got a slider to go with it. He's learned a little about the straight change since coming over here to Montreal, and he's got a good enough fastball. But it's been almost pinpoint control this year that's made Martinez 16-6. But look for a home run or two tonight. He's given up 9 home runs his last 60 innings, and this is a tough ballpark to hit the ball out of.
I tell you, Steve, I'd rather talk about Greg Maddux. Here's a kid only 23 years old, and listen to his improvement. His first year in the major league, he won 2. His second year in the major leagues, he won 6. Last year, his 3rd year in the major leagues, he won 18. Tonight, his 4th year, at age 23, he's shooting for his 19th victory of the season. And if he gets it here tonight, he'll have a shot at 20 before the year is over. There's the Pittsburgh score we gave you before. 1-1 in the bottom of the second. You're looking also at Greg Maddux with Mike Bilecki to his right, Mark Grace to his left. And we're ready to go. Veteran against a kid.
I like the attitude of Greg Maddux when he talked about the possibility of a 20-game season. He said, the only thing I care about at this point is the Cubs clinching the division. If I win 20, that's all well and good. But he said he would trade that right now for a shot at getting into the World Series by first getting into the playoffs. And that's a good attitude certainly to have for any youngster, but you have to keep things in perspective. And even though individual statistics are nice at contract time, it still is a team game, and this team looks like they're destined for the playoffs.
Here's Marvell Wynn to lead it off. Hitting .248. 7 homers, 37 runs batted in. Held in check by Montreal last night. Dennis Martinez with his back to the plate, now turns around.
Marvell Wynn has 5 hits his last 4 starts, and he scored 5 runs. And like most leadoff men, if he gets on, he can make a pitcher's night miserable.
First pitch of the ball game. It's a high fastball, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Boy, that's a big wad of chewing tobacco he's got in it. Martinez out of Nicaragua. Ground ball to the shortstop. Spike Owen will throw him out. And they've held the Marvell Wynn now. That's a 0 for 6. He was 0 for 5 last night. Here is Ryan Sandberg. And he is shooting for his 86th consecutive game without an error.
Dennis Martinez has about the best control on this ball club. Only 47 walks in 223 innings. He's given up 21 homers, but that's because he's been around the plate quite a bit. And his walk-to-strikeout ratio very close to 3-1.
Martinez has won 2, lost 1 this year for the Cubs. In his lifetime, he's beaten the Cubs 6 times, lost to them only twice. So he's a tough pitcher. Sandberg, 1 ball, no strikes. Curveball low, ball 2. The Cardinals and the Pirates are evened up 1-1 in the bottom of the second at Pittsburgh.
Dennis has such a good breaking ball that you hope he falls behind and have to come to you with a fastball. It looked like it might be the case here.
It was, but he fouls it off. 2 balls and the strike, 1 out. The Giants have already clinched at least a tie. Even though they lost last night, San Diego also lost. And if the Cubs would have run that had kept pace, both would have clinched a tie last night. But now the Cubs' magic number is 2. 2 balls and the strike. High and inside. All 3. 3-1.
You're looking for a power pitch. This is a good pitch if Dennis doesn't get that fastball outside. Certainly doesn't want to walk Sandberg ahead of that man who is red hot.
Sandberg has hit 6 home runs against the Expos. It's a ground ball to Wallach. 2 out. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Dwight Smith hitting .239 against the Expos pitching with 9 out of 39. All told, he's hitting .320, 9 homers, 50 RBI. He's only, let's see. Sandberg, for example, played the whole season, almost 600 times at bat. Smith has had 328 times at bat. But that's a pretty good total of RBIs, 50, considering the time he's played. High fastball.
Smitty's also been red hot the last 21 games. Now, granted, he's 9 for his last 15. That pencils out to 600. But his last 21 games, which is a long stretch, he's hitting .456. That's why the batting average is up to a lofty .320.
2 balls, no strikes. He had a cut. 2 balls and a strike. Sean Dunston in the lineup tonight, and it's expected that Jerome Walton could play tomorrow.
Dwight Smith just looked back at Dutch Rennert and asked him if that was a strike. Not did he swing or not, he just wants to get some sort of an idea where the outside corner is for Dutch tonight.
There's a pitch, foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Our well wishes go to Joe Moss tonight at St. Francis Hospital. Want to wish him a quick recovery. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A ground ball deflected. It might wind up a hit. The throw. It is a base hit. Dwight Smith deflected a hot smash off the glove of Dennis Martinez over to Wally. He threw too late.
Dennis Martinez makes a stab at this ball, but it hits off the end of the glove. And if you do this, there is no way in the world you can get Dwight Smith at first. This is a fine play by Wallach because he had to redirect the momentum of his body coming across. He barehanded the ball, got it over there, but not quite in time.
2 out, 1 on. Here's Mark Graves hitting .312.
Got a pretty good throwing catcher in Santavania. He ended the 50-game streak, 50 stolen base streak of Vince Coleman.
There's a pitch. A little bit inside. We're still 1-1. Cardinals batting the top of the 3rd in Pittsburgh. Mr. and Mrs. Hall of LaGrange are here today, hoping to see the Cubs clinch it. Throw over to first.
Dennis Martinez has a very quick move to first. That certainly wasn't it, but he's got very quick feet. He takes some time to deliver the ball. He'll give the base runner a couple of steps, but you can't get that much of a lead because he can get it over there in a hurry.
Smith has 9 stolen bases. Curveball is in there, a strike call. Graves is 12 out of 37 against the Expos pitching, hitting .324 with 2 homers.
He said it's about time he took control of a ball game. He hasn't been doing it of late. So he's looking for a big night tonight against Martinez.
1-1 pitch over to first. Martinez set. Quick throw this time. But Dwight is back. A lot of Cub fans made the trip here. Gene and Pat Kubiak of Lake Forest. And there's a group of them. 110 people brought up by Phoebe Meadow. 1 ball, once they go, Smith. And too bad, he had a great jump, but the pitch was fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Anytime a runner's going, the catcher has got to come up out of his stance and get ready to deliver the ball. When he does that, he exposes his body. And that time, Santavania came up ready to throw, and Grace fouled the ball right off him. Now take a look at the pitch once again and watch Santavania. He's getting up, ready to throw, and he catches that right off the left shoulder.
That's right. You can't hurt a catcher. That old Spartan spirit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out. Runner at first. Andre Dawson is next. There goes Smith. He struck him out. He tried to check his swing, but he did not do so, and Dutch Rennert called him out. So 1 in, 1 left. We go in the bottom of the first, no score.
You have to see my kitchen. It's gorgeous.
When something's not working, find help fast. Illinois Bell's Ameritech Pages Plus, published by Donnelly Directory. Shop here and shop fixed.
You know the Budd Brothers?
Yeah, I know. They're the best. I know those guys personally.
You
You ought to see these guys play, man.
They're the Bud Brothers. Ow!
Hey, I love Chicago. You just can't beat this place.
Those guys are my buds. They really got a good head on their shoulders.
You can take it from the body, cause you know I got good taste. Hey, a town this hot deserves a beer this cool.
I think they used to play with the Coasters.
Oh, yeah.
When you were a kid, you wanted your bike to sound like a car. Nowadays, you'd like your car to be as quiet as that old bike. So use a gasoline that can do a better job quieting knocks. One that's 2 octane higher than regular unleaded. Unical's 89 octane.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Murph.
It's the great game last night.
Gee, thanks.
The Nissan Marathon's been extended a few days, so your Nissan dealer has to keep on running. He's still passing along dealer cash incentives that can save you hundreds on Sentra and on every Nissan hard-body truck. He's going all out on Maxima, the most trouble-free car sold in the U.S., and giving up to $2,000 cash back on Stanza. But see your Nissan dealer today, because when he crosses the finish line, this event is really over. The Nissan Marathon, the best event we've ever run.
Harry Carey back in Montreal. We go into the bottom of the first. Tim Raines will lead it off. There you get a look at the Cubs defense. Raines hitting .211 against the Cubs pitching. Overall, he's hitting .283. Here's the first pitch by Maddux. Swung on, ground ball. Dunston has it. One away. Took only one pitch to get rid of Rain. Hey, here's the guy, B.J. Marsh. Marsh traveled from Springfield, Missouri. He has a big crowd here. And here they are. They could be going to Pittsburgh to watch the Cardinals. Instead, they come to Montreal to watch the Cubs. Does that tell you something? B.J. Marsh traveled.
Maddux making his 35th start of the year, his 4th against the Expos. 2-1 this year against them, lifetime 6-5 with a pretty good ERA of 3.27.
Here's Grissom the pitch. A couple of young guys facing each other. Here's Greg Maddux, only 23, and Grissom's only 22.
He got burned by Grissom in Wrigley Field on a couple of fastballs, so he's got to be careful about a fastball in the inner portion.
Inside, 1-1. Grissom is out of Georgia, outside Atlanta, Red Oak. 1 out, nobody on. The Cardinals and the Pirates are tied 1-1 in the third. There's a ground ball right at Grace, easy out. 2 up, 2 down. And here is Andres Galarraga. I can't figure what's happened to this guy. For the year against the Cubs, he's hit only .219 with 14 out of 64. All told, he's hitting .257 for the year with 22 homers and 84 RBIs, and he has struck out about over 150 times. Galarraga has fanned 153 times this year.
Seems unbelievable, but there's only 2 major league pitchers that have won at least 18 games the last 2 years. Maddux and Dave Stewart of Oakland.
Here's a pitch a little bit inside, ball 2.
But that shows you that Greg Maddux is one of the premier pitchers in all of baseball, and probably the most valuable commodity. A young man with a good arm that wins a lot.
There's a pitch a little bit outside, ball 3. Hubie Brooks would be next. Pirates batting bottom of the third, still tied up 1-1. A 3-0 pitch. Buck Rogers gave him the go-ahead, and he did not have a very good swing as he fouled the pitch off.
Well, he's the one power man in the lineup, a man with legitimate power to all fields here in Montreal. And so when you get a 3-0 pitch, you know a fastball's coming. Generally, you turn this guy loose.
3 balls and the strike. And he fouls it off. Now he's having trouble hitting the inside fastball.
That's what happens, Harry, when you get so aware of everybody throwing you away. You try to make an adjustment. You start looking away, and all of a sudden the pitchers change, and they start bearing the ball in on your hands.
Let me tell you what I think maybe's happened to Galarraga. Too much coaching. You got a slugger. He's doing well. You start working on him to make him even better, and you wind up ruining his swing. He still is hitting 22 home runs, but nowhere near the all-around hitter he's been the first 2 years we saw him.
I think what they have to do also, Harry, is get another left-hand hitter in this lineup, because like the Cubs are dominated by right-handers, consequently, they see many more right-handed breaking ballers than left-handers.
He struck him out. He tried to check his swing, and he's out on strikes. Number 154 at the end of 1 inning. No score.